Morning, students. The second chapter of physics, that is force and law of motion. In this chapter, we have just studied about the Newton first law, that is the law of inertia, and now we are continuing with the Newton's second law. According to Newton's second law, you know that when for some force is applied on an object, suppose this is an object of mass m and having the initial velocity of u. Suppose you are applying some force on this object, now its velocity going to change because according to inertia a body has a tendency to resist the change in its state of motion or the rest. So if you want to change the state of motion, that is if you want to change the speed of the object, you have to apply some force over it, force on it. So in its velocity changes to v after t time. So we have just studied in the Newton's second law that the force is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum. It means how much momentum you want to change is depend on the force. It means if you want to change the momentum in large amount, you have to apply the more force over it, or if you want to change the momentum in less amount, you have to apply less force as compared to initial one, and divided by the time. This is called the rate of change of momentum. Divided by the time is, it depends on the time. If you want to change the velocity in short period of time, you have to apply more force. If you want to change the velocity in large period of time, you have to apply the less force. So in second law we have just studied that the force applied on an object depend on the change in momentum as well as on the time taken to change the momentum. Now there are some applications of Newton's second law of motion. The first one is, uh, you saw you ever saw in your cricket match that when you catch a cricket ball, suppose a fast moving cricket ball is coming towards you, you will catch this ball, and when you catch this ball, you moves your hand like this. It means you don't आप ऐसे पकड़ के ना खड़े नहीं होते, बल्कि आप क्या करते हो, अपने हाथ को आप पीछे की तरफ खींच लेते हो. तो जब भी आप फास्ट मूविंग क्रिकेट बॉल को आप कैच करते हैं, तो आप अपने हाथ को क्या करते हैं, you just move your hand in backward direction. So why you do this? You can imagine yourself that to protect yourself from to get hurt, अगर आप ऐसे ही पकड़ लोगे बॉल को और हाथ अपने पीछे नहीं लेके जाओगे, तो आपको समझ में आता है कि देन यू विल गेट हर्ट. सो टू if you don't want to get hurt by this ball, you have to move your hand in backward direction. So what is the science behind it, why you move your hand in backward direction? So first I am writing the heading here: catching a cricket ball. Cricket ball. Now try to understand it. A fast moving ball. Suppose this ball has the mass m and it is coming with some velocity. Let the velocity of the ball is u. What will happen if you catch this ball? The velocity becomes 0. After catching this ball, the velocity of the ball becomes to 0. It means initially this ball has some momentum on it, and when you catch this cricket ball, its velocity changes to 0. It means you can say that momentum becomes 0. So it means you are going to change the momentum of the ball. So if the velocity of a moving cricket ball is constant, so you can't change the change of momentum. Final momentum is v0. Initial momentum is the velocity, depends on the velocity and the mass. So you can't change this quantity of change in momentum. Suppose, for example, the ball has a mass 500 gram. I don't know what is the actual mass of the ball. Suppose the ball has a mass 500 gram. It means half kg of ball, and it is coming towards you with the velocity of suppose 300 meter per second. Suppose now its momentum is 150 kilogram meter per second. Now you just when you catch this cricket ball, its velocity becomes 0. So you can say the momentum will become 0. So the change in momentum is how much? mv minus mu. Mv is 0 because the final velocity is 0, minus 150. Now the change in momentum is 150 kilogram per meter per second. So this change in momentum you can't change it because the mass can't change. You can't change the mass of the ball and you can't change the velocity of the ball. So what is in your hand so that you don't get hurt by this ball? You have a time to catch this ball. It means we know that the force applied by this ball on your hand is depends on the change in momentum, which is not in our hand. We can't change this value. This is constant value, but this time we can change. Now suppose you just catch your ball and don't move your hand in backward direction. What will happen? It means the time given to you, the time given by you to catch the ball is suppose 1 second. In 1 second you catch the ball. Now what will be the force? Force is equal to mv minus mu upon t. And what is the quantity of mv minus mu? That is 150 minus. So it is minus 150 Newton. This is a force which the ball will apply on your hand. And what will happen if you increase the time to change the momentum of the ball to the 0? If you increase the time, suppose you take the 5 second to catch this ball. Now what will happen? Force is equal to change in momentum 150 upon 5 second. It will be minus 30 Newton. Now the force applied on your hand will be decreases. How this force applied on your hand decreases? By increasing the time. It's a very simple thing that the force is inversely proportional to the time. By increasing the time, you can decrease the value of the force, or by decreasing the time, you can increase the value of the force. So it means when you move your hand in backward direction, actually you are going to increase the time to change the momentum. And when you increase this time, the force applied by the ball on your hand will also decreases according to Newton's second law. So this is the first application of the Newton's second law. You can write its explanation. What happens when you catch a cricket ball? Write the explanation about this ball, catching a cricket ball. You can write here a cricket player moves his hand backward, his hand backward on catching a fast cricket ball. Now explain this whole thing, why you move your hand in backward direction. The explanation of this क्या कहेंगे इसको, मतलब आप ऐसा जो कर रहे हैं, what is the explanation behind it? So you can say that a fast moving ball has a large momentum. Why it has a large momentum? Because its velocity is so high, and we know that momentum depends on the velocity as well as the mass of the ball. So the mass of the ball we can't change, or if the ball has a high velocity, it means it has a large momentum. So a fast moving cricket ball has a large momentum. In stopping this ball, what will you do? When you catch this ball, the velocity you will change the velocity of the ball to the 0. So in stopping this ball, its momentum has to be reduced to 0. It's clear? A fast moving ball has some momentum like this one, and when you catch this cricket ball, it means you are going to change the velocity to 0. So now the change in momentum takes place in a ball. Okay. When this ball not when this fall, when player moves hand backward, then the time taken to reduce the momentum is the time taken to reduce the momentum is increased. Now the rate of change of momentum decreases. By increasing the time, you are going to decrease the rate of change of momentum, है ना. अगर आपका डिनोमिनेटर बड़ा होता है तो आपकी जो क्वांटिटी आती है, वैल्यू आती है, कम आती है ना. तो बाय इंक्रीजिंग द टाइम, व्हाट आर यू डूइंग? You are decreasing the rate of change of momentum. It means you are decreasing the force applied is increased. एक minute. Then the time taken to reduce the momentum is increased, and the rate of change of momentum is decreased. Hence, a small force is exerted on the hands of player. Okay, so what are you doing? You are decreasing the value of force applied by the ball on your hand. That's why you will not get hurt. And what will happen if you don't move your hand in backward direction? Then the time to reduce the momentum is decreases. That's why the rate of change of momentum is increases, and the force applied on your hand is also increases. So you have to write the second part of this theory, that is what will happen if you not move your hand in backward direction. Okay, you can do yourself. Now the second application, which is also based on the Newton's second law. Second one is the in case of the higher jumper, it means the cleats are provided with a heap of sand. The case of high jumper, हाई जंपर्स मीन्स जो लंबी जंप लगाते हैं, लंबी जंप लेते हैं, आपने देखा होगा. देयर आर द हीप ऑफ सेंट्स और वहाँ पे क्या करते हैं, उसको प्लो करके डाल देते हैं ग्राउंड को, ताकि जब भी कोई प्लेयर जो है वो भागता हुआ आता है तो वो इस पे जंप करता है. दैट्स वाई ही डोंट गेट हर्ट. तो व्हाट इज़ द थ्योरी बिहाइंड इट? Why it's happened so? Why he don't get hurt when he jump on a heap of floor? And what will happen if he jump on a cemented floor? It means if he jump on a cemented floor, what will happen? He will get hurt. We can imagine that he will get hurt. So why he will get hurt when he jump on a cemented floor, and why he don't get hurt when he jump on a heap of sand? What happens? Just like this cricket ball, you can easily understand it. That suppose this is a man of a mass 50 kg. Okay, suppose, and he is running with a velocity of suppose 10 meter per second. This is the velocity of this jumper. Now what will happen when he jump on the floor or on the heap of the sand? Suppose first one, when he jump on the floor, what will happen when he jump on the floor? Actually its velocity will become 0. It means initially what will the momentum of this man? The momentum, initially its momentum is 500 kilogram meter per second. That is 50 into 10. You know, momentum is equal to mass multiplied with the velocity. So the initial momentum of the man is 500 kilogram meter per second. Now when he jump on this floor, its final velocity becomes 0, and the final velocity becomes 0. It means the final momentum of the man is also become 0. So the change in momentum, what is the change in momentum? Change in momentum will be 500, 0 minus 500 upon time. Suppose when he jump on this floor, its velocity becomes 0 in a very short period of time. Suppose this time is 1 second. For example, this is 1 second. What will happen? The momentum, change in momentum will be 500 kilogram meter per second. And we know that the rate of change of momentum, kilogram meter per second, is square. Actually this is the rate of change of momentum which we represent by the Newton. So now the rate of change of momentum is equal to minus 500 Newton, and this is the force applied by the floor on this man. And what will happen in the second case? What will happen if we jump on a heap of sand or a floor area? Then what will happen? Initially it has the momentum of 500 Newton, and when he jump on this heap of sand, its velocity becomes 0 and the final velocity is also becomes 0. So the change in momentum is again minus 500 Newton. Now if he jump on this heap of sand, जब उस पर जंप करता है तो होता क्या है, उसमें वो कुछ डेप्थ तक नीचे मूव करता है, क्योंकि ये सीमेंट नहीं है ना. जब वो इस पर जंप करेगा तो थोड़ी नीचे तक वो इसके अंदर जा सकता है. तो उससे क्या होगा कि वो एकदम से नहीं रुका, उसको रुकने में थोड़ा सा टाइम मिल गया. और जब उसने टाइम को इंक्रीज़ कर दिया, इट मीन्स सपोज इट टेक्स 5 सेकेंड टू come to the rest to this man, it means the force applied will be 500 upon 5, that is minus 100 Newton. In which case more force is applied on the man in this case where the floor is cemented, because the time period, the time taken by this man to change in momentum to become 0 is less, so the rate of change of momentum is increases. That's why the force applied on the man is also increases. And in case of heap of sand, what will happen? When he jump on the heap of sand, the time taken to reduce the momentum to become 0 is increases. That's why the rate of change of momentum decreases, and we can say the force applied on this jumper is also decreases. So like this one, you can write this explanation of a man who is jumping on a floor or a heap of sand. So this I am leaving here for you, that you have to write yourself. A high jumping athlete is provided with a heap of sands or a mud on the ground. Explain why. So this is a question for you. You should write a question कि why the jumping athletes are provided with a heap of sands or mud to fall upon. Okay. Now there are some numericals which are based on Newton's second law. According to Newton's second law, we have just studied that F is equal to m into a, where m is the mass and a is the acceleration. Okay. This is the force, and I have explained you in last lectures that the SI unit of force is Newton. SI unit of force is Newton, and CGS unit is time. There are some numericals which are based on this formula. First, for this numericals, you should also know about the acceleration, which we have studied in the first chapter. So there are some numericals. First numerical is this: what force would be needed? You can write numerical with me. What force would be needed to accelerate 4 meter per second square in a ball of mass 6 kg. Now what you have to find? You have to find the force applied. And what is given in the question? Acceleration, that is 4 meter per second square. And what is the mass of the ball? This is 6 kg. So you can easily find the force applied on this ball, that F is equal to m into a. What is m here? M is 6 kg and a is the 4. 6 4 24 Newton. This is the force applied on the ball. Simple question. Now the second one. What is the acceleration produced what is acceleration produced by a force of 12 Newton on an object of mass, how much? 3 kg. So what is given what is given to you in this question? The force is equal to 12 Newton. The mass of the ball is 3 of the object is 3 kg. Now you have to find the acceleration. Now we know the formula F is equal to m into a. If you want to find the value of a, what can be the formula? F is equal to a is equal to f upon m. You know क्रॉस मल्टीप्लिकेशन, मल्टीप्लाई का टर्म कहाँ जाएगा? f के अपॉन में डिवाइड में चला जाएगा. So you can find easily acceleration is equal to force divided by the mass, that is 4 meter per second square. Units are compulsory. You should always write the unit with answer. Now the next question is calculate the force required. Calculate the force required to a car of a velocity of 30 meter per second. Now the car has the velocity 30 meter per second in 10 seconds starting. If you are not able to read the writing, I have not a good handwriting, so if you are not able to read what I am writing here, you can listen carefully what I am telling to you, what words I am telling to you is I am writing here. Calculate the force required to car a velocity of 30 meter per second in 10 seconds starting from rest. Required to a car a velocity of 30 meter per second. Okay, I think I'll leave some word here. Calculate the force required to a car to change the velocity of itna in 10 seconds starting from radar. It can be to change the velocity of a car to change the velocity of a car 30 meter per second in 10 seconds starting from rest. I think there is some problem in language. The mass of a car is 1500 kg. Okay, so what is given to you in this question? What force is required? Means you have to find the force to a car velocity of 30 meter per second. You want to change the velocity to 30 meter per second. Means it is a final velocity, because we know that the car is starting from the rest, and something when something is starting from the rest, it means its initial velocity is equal to 0. So you want to change the velocity to 30 meter per second. This is the v is the final velocity, and use the initial velocity, that is 0. In 10 seconds, what is the time here? Time is the 10 seconds. Now you have to find the force applied. Again, you are given mass of the car is 1500 kg. We know the formula F is equal to m into a, but we don't know the value of a. So first we can find the value of a by using the equation of motion. The first equation of motion, we know that v is equal to u plus at. What is v here? V is 30, u is 0, plus a you have to find, and time is 10 seconds. So 30 is equal to 10 into a. Then what will the value of a? A is equal to 30 upon 10, that is 3 meter per second square. This is acceleration. Now you can easily find the value of force. Force is equal to m into a. M is 1500 kg and acceleration is 3 meter per second square. So 15 3s are 4500 Newton. This is the force applied. We have to apply the force on the car to change the velocity to 30 meter per second from the rest. Okay. Few more numericals based on equation Newton's second law. Next one, there was 3 numericals, and this is the fourth one. This is a truck start from rest. A truck start from rest. Start from rest means its initial velocity is 0. Start from rest. So now the initial velocity of the truck is 0 and rolls down a hill. With constant acceleration. It means its acceleration is not going to be changed. It travels a distance of 400 meter in 20 seconds. Find acceleration. First you have to find acceleration. What is given you in this question? A truck start from rest. It means its initial velocity is equal to 0 because it is starting from rest, and travel the distance of, it means it is s, that is 400 meter in 20 seconds. This is t, 20 seconds. If you want to find the acceleration, which equation of motion you can use here? Second equation of motion. So we can use the second equation of motion, s is equal to ut plus half at square, for finding the acceleration in this question. Now again, the question is incomplete here. You have to write complete question, that is find the force acting on it if its mass is 7 metric ton. You know what is metric ton? 1 metric ton is equal to 1000 kg. Okay, so the mass of the truck is 1000 kg. So I am writing here mass is equal to 7000 kg. 1 metric ton is equal to 1000 and 7 metric ton means 7000 kg. So first, by using this equation of motion, second equation of motion, you can find the acceleration of the truck. And after finding the acceleration, you can easily find the force, because we know that F is equal to m into a. Here in this question, we are giving mass, and from this formula, we can find the acceleration. And by finding the product of mass and acceleration, we can easily find the force applied acting on the truck. ओके, नाउ एस इज इक्वल टू 400 इज इक्वल टू यू 0 है और टाइम कितना है 20 सेकेंड्स है, प्लस हाफ इंटू ए इंटू 20 स्क्वायर. 400 is equal to, it will be 1/2 into a into 400. You can cancel it by 2, that is 200. Acceleration will be 400 upon 200. It will be 2 meter per second square. Now this is acceleration. Now you can find the force is equal to m into a. And what is mass? Mass is 7000 and kg, and acceleration is 2 meter per second square. So force is equal to 14,000 Newton. This is the force which is acting on the truck when it is moving in downwards direction. Okay, I think these numericals are enough to you to understand the Newton's second law applications and numericals. Okay, bye.